Hello everyone, it's Phil Jones from the brand activation team at Sound United, and joining me from Britain is Andy Kerr. How are you?
Great to be here as well. Fantastic time.
So Bowers has introduced a lot of really cool products within the last few months, including the newest generation of 800 series Diamond speakers. But they also have some great products for those who are looking for wireless speakers. So today, we're going to be talking about the new Bowers and Wilkins Zeppelin. So Andy, can you tell me a little bit about this product?
So it's one of our most iconic products, I think, Phil. It goes back a ton of years. We actually produced the first one in 2007, and we're on the 4th generation now. So the key part about this product is it's trying to bring really high performance, obviously, you'd hope, but also really good stereo separation. And that's why it is the shape that it is. That's the key part about the Zeppelin story. The form, which obviously is pretty cool, right, is about giving you great stereo separation.
Okay, so yeah, form follows function. This is kind of almost like an evolution of what you had before. So this shape is kind of iconic, but it serves a purpose. It's not just pretty, people. So it actually does a really good job. So can you talk about what are some of the differences between the new Zeppelin versus, say, a prior model?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything is the short answer on that one. So the acoustic platform is based on component parts from high frequency that come from the 600 series anniversary edition in terms of the tweeters. So it's very high performance tweeters. They're fully decoupled 25mm double dome units that sit at the ends, either ends, and the extreme ends of the system. Then we have a pair of the FST mid-range, so the fully floating, if you like, mid-range assembly that doesn't have a regular surround, purely mid-range cone. It's not a mid-bass cone. And we have a pair of those. And then right in the center of the system, we have a 6-inch woofer, and that does the rest. So this is essentially a three-way speaker, if you like, in terms of configuration. It has more power than preceding generations, so it's a total 240 watts now. So we have 40 watt stereo for the tweeters, we have 40 watt stereo for the mids, and then we have 80 watt, which is a bridged unit, mono unit, for the low frequency, so 40, 40, 80, giving us that 240, which is awesome in itself. And then the big deal, the really big deal, is the brain. The whole front end of this thing, the input pathways, totally new and all high resolution capable.
Now another thing, the original Zeppelins were also, had little iPod docks on it. So that was kind of how most people were getting music to these smaller devices. But times have changed, right? So I noticed there's no iPod dock on there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's a completely fair point, right? That's a reflection of how people are using these things now. So in our preceding iteration to this one, we dispensed with a dock, and we called it for the first time the Zeppelin Wireless, because as you say, there was no physical connection anymore. But this one takes the game on a bit more. The last generation product had regular AirPlay, introduced Bluetooth for the first time, and it had Spotify Connect. What we've done is retain those as a feature set, but improve them in each instance. So now it's aptX adaptive. It's the highest quality form of Bluetooth currently available. It's AirPlay 2, and of course, again, that's a great convenience feature and a very high performance one if you want to just use your iOS device and kind of quickly throw something to it. That's a great way of doing something. And of course, it's got Spotify Connect still, which we're going to upgrade as soon as it becomes available to Spotify Hi-Fi. So that's cool. All that's good. What we've also got, and we're very excited about with this product, is essentially the brain of the Bowers and Wilkins formation products, which means access to the Bowers and Wilkins Music App.
The high performance has always been what's expected from a Bowers and Wilkins, but the ability to simply control it and access music and content in an engaging way is one of the things that makes the formation app that you utilize to control this device really, really cool. So can you talk a little bit about formation and the app, and what's kind of the thought process? Why did you develop that interface?
It's something that we always wanted to do, Phil, if I'm honest with you. You go right back to the start of the project back in 2016, 2017 now. Now, the former ownership of Bowers and Wilkins disagreed and wanted to go a different way where people operated essentially natively in the apps that they were using. Let's say you were a Tidal fan, you would use Tidal, and then you would AirPlay. Now that has constraints, right? It has constraints in terms of performance. One key point, of course, is that your mobile phone or your iPad, whatever it might be, is the device that's responsible for constantly pulling the content down from the cloud. And then you're retransmitting from that device to the product. So the potential for dropout, the potential for loss in quality is there. And of course, you're also constrained by whatever way you're getting the music from the mobile is. So if it's aptX, it's Bluetooth. If it's AirPlay, it's AirPlay. Fine. That means no high resolution. So what we wanted to change, and what we're very excited to have changed, is now with the music app, this device is talking to the cloud. This device is pulling the content in, and essentially your phone or your iPad is purely a remote control, and it's doing nothing else but that.
Yeah.
And that means for the first time, you can pull native high-resolution content into this product. So if you have currently a Qobuz subscription is the only one we have right now. We will have a ton more in the next 6 months that support full high-resolution. You're taking it and throwing it straight into the DSP. You're taking it and throwing it straight into the digital to analog converters. The signal quality is improved, so it's more stable, but also the performance is a big step up.
Yeah, people play music from their phones, and there's casting, where you find something and you cast the audio to another device or video to another device. Bluetooth, it's on the phone, you're sending it there. But like you said, it's the mobile device is grabbing it and then sending it off. Now all the mobile device is doing is telling this device where to go. Yeah. I want to hear this song from this service. And it says, okay, let me go. And this goes to that service and gets that song. So it's a lot more reliable and the quality is a lot higher. Another benefit of it is if you want to add more services, you update the app. And all the app does is tell this where to go at a different service.
Exactly that, and I think that's the cool thing about it, right? I mean, we've obviously made big strides in the past 6 months with the numbers of services that we've incorporated. Some of the big news in midsummer was we added Deezer to the original provision of Qobuz and Tidal. We're rolling out more recently in Asia. We've added QQ Play and Himalaya into the service. We've added a couple of other, perhaps more local services. We're currently in conversations and working on Amazon and Pandora, which we're very excited about. And clearly the next stage from that is, just, as I said earlier on, is take all of those services to the highest possible level, to the high resolution standards. So Tidal at the moment is regular Tidal. We anticipate by mid-year it will be Tidal Masters.
Exactly. And you may actually have something like a Zeppelin in maybe a living room or maybe your office. But you may also want to have other Bowers products, like maybe behind you is a pair of Formation Duos. And you may want to have that in another space, and having one application that you can use to control the Zeppelin, the Formation Duos, or having a Formation Audio that you can use to retrofit an older hi-fi system means that basically one app rules them all.
Yeah, and that's very much the plan, right? I mean, currently, as this stands today, this is version 2.4 in terms of the software. This does not have that multi-room capability enabled yet. That will happen again in the spring of this year coming. But again, we're very excited about the exact scenario you spoke about, because it means you could have that kind of mixed model. You could have like a premium 2-channel room with perhaps duos, or maybe even, as you said, a passive system with a Formation Audio, and then integrate Zeppelin and share content with it. Lots of other cool stuff though that's worth talking about on how the app works, and I know you want me to dive deep into it. I think we've tried to make it more than just a control portal. We try to make it something that you want to use, something that you actually enjoy. So it's smart, it's intuitive, it listens and it learns to the kinds of music that you like, and then gradually tries to surface more of that kind of music into your feed. So there's a kind of a top feed called Made For You, and as you use your product a ton more, that will get cleverer and cleverer and cleverer with the things it suggests and how it serves that up to you. We also have curated Bowers and Wilkins playlists on there. Some specific to the product, some just related to the time of year, and we'll throw those in as well. And again, if you want to kind of connect with us and understand a bit more about how we think about music and some of the stuff we've been listening to whilst tuning and working on products, you can access that right there. So again, that's a great feature too. The last part, I think, is perhaps, again, the sort of most fun thing. In that scenario you spoke about from the point of view of multiple homes, multiple rooms in your home, pardon me, it will analyze how you use the system, and it will surface the ones that you use the most towards the top of your options. So let's say you have a big space and you have 6 or 7 different rooms in your house. It'll put the ones that you use the most intuitively at the top of the list, just to make it easier and, again, just more elegant to use the system.
And I will admit that I've played with lots of different music apps, and I will say this is probably definitely one of the best designed, more engaging. It makes you want to go in there and explore new music. Because we all have these great catalogs of music, but just me hanging out with you over the last few days, I have grabbed a whole bunch of cool tracks that he hasn't uncovered. So if you're a music enthusiast and you're looking for great new pieces of content, this app actually helps you explore all that new material, and it starts figuring out exactly the kind of stuff you like. And it just gets more and more intuitive and fun.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think that there's one last thing that we've added for the first time in this product, which we've never had before. This is the very first Bowers and Wilkins product to have integrated Alexa. And that point is really important. It's integrated. It doesn't require an Alexa skill. It's not saying that you have to have an existing Alexa household or an Echo Dot or whatever it might be. It's built right into the product. So should you wish to say, check the weather or do all the kind of regular Alexa functionality, operate the lights in your home, your Zeppelin can do that for you, just like any other Alexa product can do. And of course, the most obvious thing you can do is just say, hey, open Spotify and play me a playlist, and it will just take care of it.
It's an amazing new addition to your product lineup. Now, the other thing that you're working on is a lot of times people have all these formation products, and they may have control systems. You guys are working on enhancing that capability as well, right?
Correct, yes. So we now have device drivers and control in place for Control 4. We're very excited about that. And again, for a certain application, particularly with something like the formation audio, that's going to be a great piece, but also something like this too. And going forward, we'll have Crestron as well. So the Crestron guys are talking to us right now. We hope, timing-wise, that's going to roll in February. So again, it's trying to take products that were arguably initially just conceived just for perhaps a less enthusiast kind of consumer and bring them into the most convenient way of operating it for that audience, things like Alexa, things like the app. But on the other hand, if you're a hardcore guy and you want to integrate it into the rest of your system and you want to control it in that same way, we're providing that functionality too.
Exactly, and this is just another example of how Bowers and Wilkins is working on bringing high quality music to all sorts of different applications. So whether you want a standalone, something like this that can seamlessly blend into a room, or stepping up to something like a formation duo where you get the high quality hi-fi stereo separate traditional bookshelf performance without the box in the middle, all the way up into something like an 800 Diamonds for that person who is the most demanding. So you guys have a solution for everyone.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So as you can see, a great new product with a great new way of interfacing with your favorite music and these amazing Bowers and Wilkins products. So take care, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.